The unseen presence. The Reynolds family had just moved into the picturesque Victorian house at 14 Willow Street. It was a charming residence with ornate details and a history that whispered through the creaking floorboards. As the family settled into their new home, they couldn't help but feel a sense of warmth and belonging. Little did they know, the house held secrets darker than its antique fad. The Reynolds, consisting of Mark, a software engineer, his wife Emily, an artist, and their two children, Emma and Ethan, embraced the change. The children were excited about exploring the nooks and crannies of their new abode. But soon, subtle anomalies began to weave through the fabric of their everyday life. Late at night, Mark swore he heard faint whispers echoing through the hallways. Emily dismissed them as the sounds of an old house settling. Emma claimed she saw shadows slinking across her room, while Ethan insisted on an unseen playmate who whispered secrets only he could hear. Initially, the family brushed off these occurrences as mere adjustments to the new environment. But as the weeks passed, the eerie incidents multiplied, creating a chilling atmosphere within the walls of 14 Willow Street. The once inviting home became a place of subtle dread. One evening, as the family gathered for dinner, the temperature in the room plummeted. The air thickened with an unspoken tension, and the flickering candle flames cast elongated shadows on the walls. The silence was broken by the sound of a child's laughter, faint yet distinct. Everyone turned to Ethan, who sat quietly, staring at an empty chair. "What's so funny, buddy?" Mark asked, trying to mask the unease in his voice. Ethan's eyes widened, and a mischievous smile played on his lips. "My new friend thinks you're funny, Daddy." The room fell silent, the weight of unseen eyes lingering. Mark exchanged a worried glance with Emily. The whispers and shadows had become something more, something that toyed with the family's sanity. That night, as the clock struck midnight, a gentle melody floated through the house. The piano in the living room played a haunting tune on its own. The family gathered in disbelief, drawn to the ethereal music that seemed to echo from a distant era. Mark, a logical man, couldn't comprehend the phenomenon. As the piano keys danced without human touch, Emily's eyes widened with realization. She recognized the melody, a composition her grandmother used to play. A tear trickled down her cheek as the music weaved through memories and regrets. The following days unfurled a tapestry of fear. Objects moved on their own, doors slammed shut without a breeze, and the atmosphere thickened with an unseen presence. The family sought answers, delving into the history of their home. It was then that they discovered the tale of the previous occupants, the Winstons, who had tragically lost a child. The Reynolds family began to piece together the puzzle. The laughter, the whispers, and the piano melody were all connected to the ghostly imprint of a child who had never left. The unseen presence of the Winston child seemed to have adopted Ethan as a playmate, bridging the gap between the living and the dead. Determined to bring peace to the tormented spirit, Emily, armed with her artistic intuition, began sketching scenes from the child's past. The family conducted seances and rituals, attempting to communicate with the unseen presence. Mark, initially skeptical, found himself experiencing the inexplicable, hearing the laughter and feeling the touch of small hands when no one was around. One stormy night, as the family gathered in the living room, the air pulsated with energy. The room darkened and the temperature dropped. The piano started playing the familiar melody, accompanied by the ghostly giggles of a child. The family held their breath as a translucent figure materialized before them. The child, with eyes filled with innocence, looked at each family member. The room embraced an otherworldly calm. Emily, tears streaming down her face, held out the sketches. The child's ethereal hands touched the drawings, and the room echoed with a melodic hum. As the first light of dawn broke through the clouds, the family felt a profound serenity. The unseen presence had found solace in the acknowledgement of its existence. The Reynolds family, forever changed by the encounter, decided to keep the sketches. As a reminder of the unseen bond that transcended the boundaries between life and death. 14 Willow Street, once a house with secrets that sent shivers down the spine, now stood in silent tranquility. The Reynolds family had become the custodians of a tale that blurred the lines between the tangible and the spectral, a story of an unseen presence that had found peace through the unlikely connection with the living.